You are listening to All Burgundy and Go Everything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia. Your hosts are Glen, Mo, and myself, Wole. The homie Ray Jeezy is out. What is good, fellas?
Hey man, we're getting closer to another OTA season for the Commanders. We're getting closer to mini camp, and we're here to talk Washington Commanders football, man. Excited.
I know, right? Hey, Mo, what's going on, Mo?
Man,
What's
it's
good,
about
bro?
to get wrap up all this football and shorts and and tank tops.
I'm with you, bro. That's what
Give
I'm
us a
trying to go
nice,
with this.
and then have this summer prevail the way it need to prevail, so we can get back to the real thing.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm kind of as wow. I'm kind of get sick of like this camp talk. I feel like everybody hypes every little camp play. I'm like, they in shorts. What's happening here, bro? Like, I get it. We gotta be fans, but leave. Damn, can we at least get the competition?
Football.
Like
Football.
you're a receiver. You're supposed to catch the football, right?
Yeah, bro. Like when you would you say, Mo? My bad,
Football
bro.
is a 365-day activity now, man. So you got to do something to engage all levels of fans. Us diehards, us evaluators and prognosticators, we know better.
Yeah, I just don't lay on every catch, every throw, how people look in shorts. I just feel like
Remember Wole, a younger Wole that was
I know he was
enamored by
ignorant.
this
He was
team,
so
right?
ignorant. He was
That
so
was
ignorant.
no, we're not gonna use the word ignorant. We're gonna say enamored by this team.
Yeah,
There's a young guy out there that doesn't know the history, that doesn't know the turmoil, that doesn't know none of this. That's why they do this.
yeah, that dude was hoodwinked. Next time you should go.
Bamboozled.
Bamboozled. Run them up.
Run him up.
Run 'em
Play the
up.
fool. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude ain't know any better. he was blinded by fandom. You know what I'm saying? That fandom doesn't get this kid. This dude no. They say kid. This dude no more. I ain't no kid no more. Hey, anyway.
I was young, but we need more.
Exactly right. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything. Also tweet us at ABG_everything. Hit us up on IG at ABG_everything. And like our All Burgundy and Go Facebook page. Hey, yes, and if you're watching this if you're on any of those platforms, just throw a question out there. We'll promote it on the show and we'll answer it on the show. So if you have a question on YouTube, and also I'm going to mention this too as well, make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Everything YouTube channel. If you're on YouTube and you know a prior video, whatnot, you got a question, you got a comment, you want to feature on the show, put that on the comments, and we'll feature it on the next show. So we're just trying to stay interactive with you all. Anyway, it's time for the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. Hey, we'll talk about the Washington Commanders releasing veteran kicker Brandon McManus due to his sexual assault charges against him. We're also going to talk about what the Commanders should do at that position.
So, the Commanders released kicker Brandon McManus on Sunday after he was accused by two women of sexually assaulting them on a flight last season while he was a Jacksonville Jaguar. They recently just signed kicker Ramirez Ahmed, formerly of the UFL's Birmingham Stallions. He was 10 for 13 kicking field goals this season. He was 4 for 6 from 40 to 49-yard range. He was 0 for 1 from 50 yards plus. How concerned should the fan base be about this new kicking situation that just arose?
You want to go first, Glenn? I can see that you got.
Yeah, man. They should be very concerned.
There you go. I agree.
Very concerned, right?
I agree.
Kicking wins games, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even looking at the fact that we're talking about kicking field goals. I'm talking about the new kickoff rule that the new kickoff rule that NFL has adopted this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference between you can't drop it in the zone where the guy has to return it. That's the difference between starting on a 30-yard line or the 40-yard line, 35-yard line, 40-yard line. So it's going to be a big difference, right? They don't want guys to keep kicking it into the end zone. They want these guys to return it. So, and so that's a big issue for me because it talks about field position. And we know in the NFL, when you talk about field position, that's the difference between winning and losing a football game, right? Especially in late games, right? Where you got to pin somebody deep or you want to do something like that. So it means a lot. And field goals. I think I'm not concerned about the field goals as a concern, but extra points, right? We need a kicker who can make extra points. Underneath the last regime, some extra points were missed, right? That made difference in football games. So you have to be able to do that. My question was like, is this guy from the UFL the best kicker out there? Right? There's nobody else.
No, he's not. He's not.
And then that's yeah, he's not. And so that's my thing is there's veteran kickers who's out there. What made him special over the kickers who've been proven in the league, young or old, that could be added to this franchise, added to the team? And it's not the price tag. So can't nobody tell me the money because the team has a lot of money right about now. All right. So again, the question, Mo, I am very concerned about the kicking game. The field goal and kickoff game on the Washington Commanders. I'm not worried about the punter because the punter's an all-star. So we good there.
So for me, like I'm very concerned. So like we agree, I agree there. But I do think you said something like I'm concerned with kicking field goals, like not even extra points, field goals too, because the way I attacked it, I'm attack it this way is that you're gonna start a young quarterback, and you don't know what this offense is or whatever or whatnot. But there's something about when you have a drive and you got to settle for 3 and you're confident that your kicker can make 3. You're not going to have an empty possession. You're going to have points on the board. And if your kicker isn't reliable, that is crippling for a young quarterback, because now that if a young quarterback doesn't have trust in that kicker, now say it's 3rd and 15 and he's a field goal range, he's going to be like, my kicker can't make this. Now he's going to try to give you everything on that play rather than just taking whatever just to get, in field goal range. So I do think that if you don't have a field goal kicker that's ultra reliable, like it's going to hurt like when you're dealing with a developmental offense and a young quarterback that you're trying to groom to make life easy. Because this whole year is supposed to be about making life easy for Jaden Daniels. Like having Justin Tucker's on a whole different level, right? But you just knowing that Lamar don't gotta be perfect to get points. You think I'm saying? Lamar can get to the 40-yard line and get stalled and give you points because you have that weapon. You know what I'm saying? So even Kansas City, I know people talk about what the kicker said at the graduation, but I'm just saying, like, Patrick Mahomes knows that he can get to this situation, and this kicker's automatic. Like, and even on an extreme side, Jaden Daniels is leading a winning drive. That all he needs is 3 to win. He doesn't have to feel pressure to say, you know what, damn, I gotta get to like the 10-yard line or the 15-yard line to get kicker to kick this. All he has to do is get this kicker to say the 30-yard line or the 35-yard line to have that trust. So to me, I think it's very important for a maturation process for Jaden Daniels to not put that much pressure on him, knowing that, okay, we can have a good drive, we'll get points. You just feel good because you go to a situation where you're driving the length of the field, and you get stalled for whatever reason, and then your kicker misses a chippy. That's crushing.
No, to you guys' point, I think that this is a big blow for the team. I think especially coming from Joey Sly era and having feeling like you got yourself a worthy kicker this offseason.
Reliable kicker, yeah, exactly.
He was 30 for 37 last year with the Jaguars. Even though that division typically has better weather than he probably would see in the NFC East, and when you look and you break down his kicks last year, he was 4 for 4 from 20 to 29. He was 10 for 10 from 30 to 39, and he was 11 for 13 from 40 to 49. So anything within 50 yards is almost an automatic.
Yes.
Right, almost an automatic. And to Glen's, to what would have been Glen's like ultimate salvation, he was 100% kicking extra points. 100% kicking extra points.
Yeah.
So just having a competent kicker, having a kicker that has some experience, having a kicker that's been around in a lot of different weather situations, I think was going to bode well for this team and help out that rookie quarterback, as you mentioned. Not having to feel like he has the weight of the world on his shoulders every time you come down to a game-winning drive or a potentially game-winning drive, and having some solace in that so that he could perform to the best of his ability and let the team play actually win the game for him. So this is a crushing blow. To speak on Ramirez Ahmed from the Birmingham Stallions, I think this is the beauty of having a USFL or a UFL in the springtime, giving these guys game-like situations to prove themselves so that NFL teams, in case things like this happen, can call on you and come give you a shot. So I think this is the beginning of something. Hopefully not under these kind of circumstances every year, but I think if he comes in and he performs well and he can take care of some kind of business, or he can continue in the fashion that he was in at the UFL, I think that, because field goal, no offense, field goal kicking in the UFL is field goal kicking in the NFL. That's probably the most similar situation that he's going to be in, right? And from anybody in terms of probably the speed of the snap and all that's probably just
more people in attendance, and more people in attendance, maybe
a little bit more pressure packed because of the crowd, but
to your point though, it's
just
still
the mechanics of kicking and how that goes. I think that's just farewell. The Commanders upgraded the coaching staff all across the board this year, so the special teams coordinator just now has he has to earn his money a little bit.
Yeah, I think that Duke got cut in the season and got replaced by a guy that the Commanders had and blew it. So he got replaced by Blewett. So it's not like this dude was like one of the premier kickers in the I'm about to say XFL, the UFL. So I believe it's going to be a competition. They're going to bring another guy in, bring other guys in, and you're going to get a real kicking competition. Something that Coach Rivera never really tried to do anyway, like a true competition. So this will be a true competition. Like I feel like you'll get kickers going against each other, and we'll see how that pans out. But I don't really keep Dude getting an opportunity. He's getting an opportunity. That's fine. But I do think that the Commanders need to get a guy that they can truly trust. Like whoever wins the competition, whoever wins the competition is a guy that kills the competition. Like you can't, if there's a guy, these two dudes ain't performing well in the competition, you bring in another kicker. And to Glen's point, where he talked about it, better guys out there. Maybe you go a different route and get somebody who's done it before. You know what I'm saying? And done it at a high level. Because I don't think you can mess up the church's money when it comes to this young boy. And I'm talking about Jada Daniels. Like you got to you want to make life easy for him. You want everything to be easy for him. Well, not easy, because playing the league is not easy. But you know what I mean? Make the situation as pleasant as you can be. Make it. You know what I mean? And I know if I'm a player, if I'm a quarterback, if I was a quarterback and I'm doing my job, doing my part, moving the ball, and I can't rely on the kicker, I'm putting more pressure on myself to say I'm not going to. In essence, I would blame the kicker on the low, but I would put more pressure. I would put pressure on myself to say, you know what?
Especially as a franchise quarterback.
I was like, get it. I should be getting 7. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I'm gonna look at it. So, and I don't want to put that on him. You know what I'm saying?
You start forcing the ball in tight spaces. You start trying to
because you can't trust. You can't trust getting points on the board. Go ahead.
Yep. Yeah, at that point though, you have already tried him out, and you're at the point you're getting before we get to real games per se, or let me say real games. With games that account, you already get to the point where you know what kicker you have, which goes to the question: how would you look for the camp? How would you like for this team to tackle the kicking situation in camp? Wole, you already answered. You said you bring other kickers in.
Yeah.
It's hard. If this has happened about a month ago, they probably get some veterans right now. All the veterans have resigned. Will Lutz resigned. Joey Slides down there with Jacksonville. You got Robbie Gold. So all the older guys, Zerline who have signed up.
There's 2 out there though that I think that they.
You got Brett Maher right out there, right?
That was a name I was going to call, but I know that the last time that mainstream America saw him on TV in the 2002 playoffs, he had like a mean streak of missing.
Yeah, he used to be really good before that, though. Before that, he was really good.
He was pretty good before that. And then last year was pretty feasible for him, last year was pretty feasible for him with the Rams before it all ended, for his season ended. But he has a big leg. The ability is there. The age range is there. There's other names out there, but I'll wait till we get to that question. If it hasn't popped up already, that are notable.
Yeah,
that I thought could have yielded some consideration, but then again, when you look at their age, it might not fit what this team was trying to build in terms of his new identity.
Kickers don't matter. You can get old kickers, man.
You said that it was a high concern. Now you're saying kickers don't
No.
matter.
What age? It don't matter. You just care about for kickers. You just care.
Yeah.
You don't care about age. Kickers, you just care about making kicks.
I don't care about. I mean, he's not getting hit, so that's what I mean. Whether I prefer,
You know what I mean?
or young guy,
there's no investment, like a real investment in kickers. Like, you can recycle these dudes.
I get that, but you still want that 40-year-old kicker. You still want a strong-footed type.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just want somebody who can make kicks consistently. Right. That's all you want.
But 50 yarders require a certain kind of power.
Hey, no. You got a young leg. I feel you. Go ahead. But so I cut you off, Glenn. Sorry. Go ahead, man.
No. You answer the question, man. Like I said, would you prefer a vet or a young guy? I don't care if he's vet or young. I just want somebody consistent. And I think that's the key. Whether it's a veteran that can do it or the young guy that can do it. To Mo's point, when you enter into this league, there's guys kicking into their 40s. 42. We talk about quarterbacks playing at 40. You have a lot of kickers who are playing into their 40s years old. You know what I'm saying? Who's doing a legit job. I think about Cosby there with Green Bay. I'm thinking about.
He's a free agent.
Free agent too. That's one of the guys I was thinking about.
That's why I mentioned him. I'll pick him up, right? Consistency. Robbie Gould. Look at Gould did with San Francisco, but I think he went back to San Francisco. Or somebody.
No, they still got dude. No. They still got the dude from Michigan.
They do. Okay.
Yeah, they still got dude from Michigan.
Listen, so again, a veteran guy or a young guy, to me, you want somebody consistent. Whether runner, Washington hasn't had consistent kickers in a while.
You about to say something, Glenn? Mo?
I was about to say, man. To your point, older kickers, they have their advantages too. They know their spots. They know, they've been in a lot of these pressure pack situations before, like. Mason Crosby was the first person I thought of, and who better? I mean, to some fans here, who better to crush the dreams of a Dallas win than the guy that typically kills Dallas? You know what I mean? Last year for the Giants, Randy Bullock came in and played a couple of games for us and won a couple of games on terms of field goal. So the older guys, like you said, are not out of the equation. I was just looking at the makeup of this team. And outside of Bobby Wags, everybody seems to be one of those younger veterans that have been in the game about 6 years or so. And, it fits the mold of what this team is trying to do. But as you said, some people do think that the kicker doesn't matter. So,
how old was Brandon McManus, though? I'm curious. I feel like he's
Brandon
a vet
McManus
kicker.
is about 10 years in the league.
Yeah, right. So he's an older kicker. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess they would.
About 31, 32?
Yeah, so it's not like. So, because I'm like, to me, Brandon McManus was a good kicker. He's had even before Jacksonville, he was really good. Denver, right? He started with Denver, right? Yeah. So, I just feel like I think the kicker situation they can bring in a vet. That to Mo's point though, he has to still have a leg though. Because I think in today's NFL, you have to have a leg. Dudes are hitting 60 now, bro. Like your leg still gotta be 60 work. Mm-hmm. That's how I look at it. I ain't gonna be real. I'm gonna be real.
You got to be able to swing it from 60 and give it a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you gotta at least that's the protocol. I will say that much. Like whoever they bring in gotta at least still be able to hit 60. That I will. Because that's what the new age is doing. They're hitting 60. I ain't saying 63, I ain't saying 65, but they gotta hit 60.
Right. You don't want to get into the game and have a 58-yarder and wondering do we go for it?
Can he get there?
Can he get there?
I know being accurate is cool because I remember years ago being a Redskin fan at the time. The team was called the Redskins at the time, and they had Eddie Murray, and Eddie Murray was accurate as hell, but he was old as dirt.
Yeah,
but he couldn't kick 50. Like he could kick everything else, but he couldn't kick 50. And they would bring in another kicker, and that kicker wasn't consistent, so you were playing a funny game. So I think in today's game, you gotta at least have to have a dude that can kick 60 and be accurate enough.
No, I think that's a valid point. I think that's what most fans would want. And I think, we've all been spoiled by watching Justin Tucker for years.
On the other side, that
boy. Kick 60.
Not like him though. That's extreme. That's extreme.
No.
That's the elite though. He's the measuring stick. He's the measuring stick.
He's the top of the top. He's the cream of the crop.
But he different though.
I just think that I was speaking to the point of which fans will probably want. I know
they
what
do.
They do. Fans probably are looking at I want a guy that can mimic that or relic that, and that's not an everyday occurrence. That's not everyday happenstance.
True. I want to do that for watching. I want to do that from 10 yards to like 45, they automatic.
Yeah.
After
Like I told you.
45, I'm a realist. Like I'm like after 45, then I'm like
After 45, a
I
lot
ain't
of things
mad. I
gonna
ain't
go in
mad
habit.
at him. I'm never mad after 45. Like to me, 45 is where it stops for me. Like 45, you gotta be damn near automatic. After that, I ain't dead tough on nobody. I ain't tough on nobody who missed 50. I'm never tough on anybody. I don't want you shanking it though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like,
Right.
I don't want you shanking them. But I ain't mad at you if you miss 50 though. You know what I'm
No.
saying? I'm
Hold
not
up.
mad
I'm
at
mad
you.
at you. Yeah, I'm mad at you if you miss 50 in the dome. Now, when you talk about the weather and stuff into factors, then I have a problem.
Yeah, but that's
Right. See,
like,
I
yeah,
have
I
a
get
problem
you,
with you
but
50 in the
nobody
dome.
perfect. I get you, but nobody perfect. You know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
that was the
Like,
benefit, though. I think that was the benefit of McManus, though, coming from Colorado, that high
yeah,
altitude,
exactly.
the wind, the snow,
Right.
and
Yeah,
then last year in Jacksonville, like as to Wole's point and to your point, you want a guy that from 0 to 45, you could
that's what
close
you
your
want.
eyes and go, and
Yeah,
he was that. He was
yeah,
that, especially last year. He missed 2 kicks within 49. He
yeah.
missed 2 kicks within 49 for the whole year last year, and like legitimately, it was he was 25, no, yeah, 25 for 28. 25
yeah.
for 27. 25 for 27.
Yeah, it's
And that's
not.
what you want. You can't beat that.
Yeah, that's what you want. Like that's especially when you don't know what your offense is, right? In terms of what it can produce, so you don't want to leave points off the board. That's all
So
I'm saying.
I
So
guess with that, with the harsh reality that he is no longer a commander, Wole, I'm gonna take this one. Is it the regime's fault for not doing a thorough background check on Brandon McManus before signing him that led to this issue that we have here June 5th? Or
I
is
feel
it
like
just
yeah,
happenstance?
I feel like I don't know. I feel like NFL teams and the NFL is pretty good at doing background checks and finding everything they want to find out about you. So it's hard for me to believe that they didn't know about this like ahead of time, right? I know they just have the lawsuit. I don't know. Did they just file the lawsuit? I just feel like the NFL I feel like teams are so good at doing background checks.
Mhm.
Like I'm
You can't
curious
get
of
over. You
why.
can't get over an NFL team.
Right. So I'm wondering like why it even got to this point. You know what I'm saying? To Glenn's point, like they could have went after another kicker. You know what I'm saying? And getting but there's still time, right? Because it's like you can still sign somebody, right?
Yeah.
Like who somebody will get cut, you can sign somebody. But to like Glenn's point though, they could have already had the ball, like they wouldn't have wasted their opportunity on McManus. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so I feel like
It,
did they do any research?
Somebody
I,
dropped the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Somebody dropped the
know.
ball.
I don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
think, I think in this sensitive time that we have, that we're in, I think when allegations like this,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think being an all male cast right now, I think we've typically heard of allegations that have not come out to be what they're supposed to be. We've also seen allegations not be respected from a young lady's point of view. So I think with the sensitivity of it all, I
Mm-hmm.
think it's best to give everybody
Oh, an opportunity.
the
Got
proper
you.
diligence to represent their name and their character the way that they say
Mm-hmm.
it is. So like
But
as to your point, they may have known about the incident and thought that it was over with or something that was not going to escalate to this. And however the young women decided to pursue this, I
Yeah.
think is what brought it back up to light. And now that it's back to the forefront, it's hard to ignore it because you don't want to be you don't want to be anybody. Forget being an organization. And like I said, in these times and what we've seen going on and the craziness, the madness of this world, you do not want to be the person that does not take the young lady's word for
Serious.
it,
Yeah, of course not.
and something else comes about later on. So
Yeah.
I think with respect to the situation, if there wasn't concrete evidence or concrete information at the time of signing, it's fair to Brandon McManus to let him go through his legal process. And when you get more information, to do what you need to
Yeah.
do.
But you know what,
But like
this
you
is real.
said, they could have
No, Glenn.
also just said we don't want to sign him.
Yeah, I'm
right.
saying like just don't deal with the smoke. That's what I'm saying. Like, all right, let's keep it a buck. We already
But
know, regardless of in today's sport, in today's era of sports or anything, when especially comes to sexual assault, domestic abuse, right? Things of that sort. guilty from public perception already. Doesn't even matter. Doesn't matter. Like, and if you get, so typically, I mean, once it's out there, people already assume that you're guilty. So why even put yourself in that situation? Period. Because it doesn't, like, you're right. You're right, Mo. It's fair to give somebody a chance, but let's be real. Like, in this, in the way sports have worked now with athletes, once you're out there, you're guilty. Reuben Foster's chick said that he did everything under the sun to her. Then eventually they found out she was lying. By that time, it was too late. His record,
his reputation is done.
It was done. Reputation was done. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and I'm not saying that I'm not saying that McManus didn't do what the two young women are accusing him of. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying for Washington, once it was put out there, why even have that? Why even deal with it? Like, why? Yeah. I know he can. We talked about what he can do for your football team in terms of being consistent at kicks and this, that, and the other. But once that's out there, especially when you're trying to bring this organization to a different light compared to what you saw in the Snyder regime, why even deal with that? Like, don't even have that energy out there, bro. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, did y'all do y'all research? Yeah, well, did y'all do y'all research?
But that was my point too. My point I was going to bring up was that you don't want to deal with this because of the Stan Snyder stuff, right? Because of what this organization had went through in the past with sexual allegations and all this stuff with Daniel Snyder is a new regime. You don't want this smoke. People are starting to forget about that. And you want this guy. True. Also, the lawsuit, when the lawsuit dropped the day before he released, so the organization did not know about the lawsuit being dropped until the day before he released. So when the lawsuit dropped, I believe they found out about the information because the young ladies didn't file a lawsuit as of yet, right? So it reminds me of, and I gotta go, remind me of this wrestling incident, right? Remember the plane ride from,
with Ric Flair,
and where everything happened. It was on a plane ride. Remember, it was the Jacksonville played overseas last year. Yeah. So this incident happened on a plane ride where these stewardess was sexually assaulted by allegedly sexually assaulted by Brandon McManus. So you see this. So the organization, I blame the Jacksonville organization. They knew about this and didn't release this to anybody, or they kept it on the wraps because they had a whole year or they had months to release the information.
This is true.
And knew that things would happen. So and so that means Tony Khan and them kept this information together, right, and not released their information to any other people until the lawsuit dropped. Now Washington has to go to hand because do you keep a guy? You can't keep a guy on your roster who is accused of sexual assault because now you have female workers, you have all these different people in your organization that may be dealing with him. You have to really, and I hate to say it, we live in a society now where you're guilty, then proven innocent instead of being proven guilty, right? Yeah, so again, you can't do this. Sexual assault is one of the big things. We just coming out of the Me Too movement, anything like that. So I'll be interested to see what type of sexual assault it was towards these young women. Look at Deshaun Watson, right? He couldn't stay in Texas, right? He had to go to Cleveland. So again, the sexual assault thing is high right now. And this organization is trying to rebrand themselves, create a good name for themselves, be an organization that's be elite. There's no way in the world they can keep Brandon McManus, even if he is found
innocent. Innocent. Even innocent. So this is the thing.
I want you guys to understand this too. It is not a criminal suit. It is a civil lawsuit.
Yeah, it's a civil lawsuit.
It's not criminal at all. Yeah, so that means there's no charges being filed or pressed. Yeah. It is a civil lawsuit. And also, we haven't mentioned this on the show. With the stuff going on with Diddy, you don't want to be involved with none of that stuff.
Yeah, and I will add this too, the reason Diddy. No Diddy, right? I blame Jacksonville, but these teams talk. NFL teams talk. They talk to each other. They blackball people. They do all this. They talk. These teams talk. So to me, I just think that Washington, if they worked hard enough, they could have got that information. Because not like if it was a trade, I would agree. To be real with you, if it was a trade, I totally agree with that. Like, they would keep it in the wraps. Like, yeah, he did. Like, I'm not putting this information out there.
Because you don't mess up his value.
Yeah, exactly. But he's a free agent. Like, you can't call the Jacksonville Jaguars and say, like, yo, how is he kicking? Or what's up with him? You know what I'm saying? Like, I refuse to think like they would keep that a secret unless they hate you. I mean, these owners typically, again, they talk to each other, man. It's a fraternity,
and that's what would make somebody on the other spectrum of it all believe in one side over the other also, so and like I said, it's a sensitive topic, man. You just want to make sure that you show the respects to the young ladies and let them go through their
Exactly.
process and just let justice be served for them if necessary and if need be. And if Brandon McManus is guilty of what they say he's guilty of, then he deserves to lose his job and all of that. And if he's not, in the same respect, which I thought that the Commanders probably operated in signing him to the team. If he's not, then he also deserves his
Some
his
compensation.
character and his name to be
Yeah, that's what.
restored
Yeah,
and for him to
of
go do
course.
what he needs to go do to make a living for himself. We
I'll
know.
say. I'll say this though. If he's innocent, he if he's innocent, I'm not saying I don't know if he's innocent or guilty. You better sue them chicks, bro. I'm just saying. If you are innocent, if you're not, shame on you, bro.
Man,
But if you're
you gotta
innocent,
fight.
you got
You gotta fight for your good name in
yeah,
2024, man.
exactly.
Whoever you are, anybody, like
Whoever you are, like
whoever you are, man. Because
yeah,
it's so much that comes out about these players. Nobody knows what to believe. Like you said, we automatically make them guilty before they stand trial and
yeah,
things like that.
yeah.
The court of public opinion
It's winning.
reigns supreme because
Yeah,
it affects a lot of pockets, right?
it does.
And
That's the thing.
and we know that. We know that's why these organizations are cutting these players
Yeah,
prior to the outcome of their cases because like
yeah.
it's a bad stain and like you don't want a segment of the population not buying into your product. So it goes a long way, man. It goes hand in hand, man. But just unfortunately, like the situation is here now, and we should just give everybody the proper respects in the situation until everything is out to the public.
No, I totally agree. Totally agree. Well, this has been a good show, but we talk about kickers. That's what's up, man. You can tell we come a long way. All right, before we end this show, and make sure y'all subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything. Also, tweet us at ABG_everything. Hit us up on IG at ABG_everything. And like our All Burgundy and Go Everything Facebook page. Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Everything YouTube channel. Help us get to 500. You know what I'm saying? We try and get to 500. So subscribe, like this video, man. Get us to 500. All, you know what I'm saying? Because we doing a darn thing. So the more we getting there. And we appreciate the love and the viewers, man. 500 is the new goal, though. Let's do it. I have faith in y'all, and it's free to subscribe to Real Talk. I heard that. I heard it's real free. It's free. Like all you do is hit this red button, and you ain't got to use $1. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to use $1. You ain't got to use 50 cents. You don't got to use like 5. All you got to do is use your finger.
Hey, man, support is free. Support is free.
Yeah,
Support your
exactly, bro.
Support your local Washington Commanders commentators, man. We're gonna call you the
Yeah.
fans. I'm gonna say commentators because y'all the fans, and I'm just here.
I feel you. I respect that. I mean, I am a fan, but I'm a weird fan.
Scoring.
Anyway, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Always appreciate the homies Glen and Mo, man. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Go Everything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia, for ages. You dig? Deuces. We out.